Good morning, children. Come back to our topic, measures of angles. So, we are constructing and measuring the angles. Today, we will continue the topic with the exercise problems. Yesterday, we have finished 2 exercise problems. In that, we studied about what are the different types of angles, how they are classified, and secondly, we have constructed different angles in the given figure. Now, for the third question, they are given some of the angles in the textbook. So, they are asking to measure those angles with your protractor in the textbook itself. Find out what is the measure of those 3 angles. And so now the questions are given like this. First question is, third question. What is the measure of following angles? What is the measure of following angles? Which is the largest angle? Which is the largest angle? And draw an angle larger than the largest angle. Draw an angle larger than the largest angle. Okay, observe the question. Here, first question is given like this: A, B, C, and secondly given that D, E, F, and thirdly given P, Q, R. So this type of angles are shown in the textbook. I did not draw exactly, but what you have to do in your textbook only, first of all, find out their measures. What is the measure of the following angles? They are not asking to construct these 3 angles. Just we need to find out what is the measure of each of the angles. So to construct our measuring, we are using the protractor for angles, yes or no? So set your protractor in the textbook. Here, which angle is shown in this figure? B, yes or no? So angle ABC we have to find out now. From the figure, angle ABC is equal to how much we have to find here. And in this figure, DEF, E is the required angle. So we need to find out angle DEF. And thirdly, we have to measure angle PQR. See, I don't know the measures, but just observe, I can able to say which type of angles are these. See, take AB as the base arm. Now try to draw the perpendicular L shape. So how you are getting the other arm? Below this 90 degrees line, no? So that's why it comes under acute angle. Means you will get the measure less than 90 itself. So it is an acute angle. And coming to this one, try to draw the perpendicular at E. Then how you are getting other arm is out of 90 degrees. So it comes under obtuse angle. And coming obtuse means more than 90. Okay. Coming to PQR. PQR itself in L shape. So it is equal to 90 degrees. That is nothing but right angle. So here without measuring also I can say that angle PQR is equal to 90 degrees. See, observe the question. What is the measure of the following angles? So we have to find out the measure by using the protractor. Which is the largest angle? Without measurements also, I can able to say that it is an acute angle, obtuse angle, and right angle. Acute in the sense lesser than 90. Obtuse is more than 90. Right angle is equal to 90. More than 90 means obtuse angle is the largest angle. Means angle DEF is the largest angle. What is the measure? We don't know. Draw an angle larger than the largest angle. So how much you will get the measure here? More than that, you must draw one more angle. That will be the construction. Here these are measurements, and whatever we are doing fourth one, that is the construction. So now observe this question. I am finding the angle ABC by using the protractor. So for that sake, I need to set the common point of a protractor is at B, because here my vertex is B. I need to find out angle B. Okay. And 180 degrees line of protractor should be on AB. Okay. So how I have to set like this? At B and straight line. So I got, for this question I got 40. Actually you will get the measurement 45 degrees. So observe in your textbook. I'll find in the textbook. I got angle ABC as 70 degrees in the textbook. See, this side, right side arm is there, so inner values I need to count. So ray BC is lying on 70 degrees line on the protractor. So angle between angle B is equal to 70 degrees. Okay. So angle ABC is equal to 70 degrees, acute angle itself, no? Then coming to angle DEF. Now set your protractor at E like this and ray on this side only. So again inner values we need to count. I got 120 degrees here, and in your textbook also you will get 120 degrees only. So I got 120 degrees, and that one is no need to measure 90 degrees itself. If you want to measure, even though you are measuring also, you will get the measurement 90 degrees. So observe, these measurements we are founded in the textbook. So to note in your CW, you know the measurements now. So construct these angles, 70 degrees, 120 degrees and 90 degrees. Actually, they are asking to construct only one angle which is more than the largest angle. So you know now which are the different angles, what are the given angles measurements. First angle is 70 degrees, second is 120, third one is 90. 120 degrees is the largest angle. Okay, which is the largest angle? This angle DEF is the largest angle. Draw an angle larger than the largest angle. But what I am saying, construct all these three as well as more than 120 degrees. Take 130, 140, 150, whatever you wish. So I'll use 130 degrees and I'll construct now. How I am constructing 130 degrees? In that way only construct the remaining also. Okay. So observe, the largest angle is angle DEF, which is equal to 120 degrees. Still here over. Draw an angle larger than the largest angle. So I am constructing more than 120 degrees. So 130 degrees is, I am using the letters angle XYZ is equal to 130 degrees is larger than the largest angle. That is 120 degrees, more than 120 degrees, no this one. So I want to construct this 130 degrees. What I am doing, first of all, I am drawing a ray. Here I have mentioned X, Y, Z. So Y is the angle. Y, X. Okay. Y, X. Angle Y equal to 130 degrees. Now I need to place the protractor at Y. Okay. Because right side it is spreading. I need to take inner values by 130 degrees. So I'll get more than like this. More than 90 degrees. Here Z. Now it is equal to 130 degrees. So follow the same thing for the construction of 70 degrees, 120 degrees, 90 degrees in your notebook. Okay. Actually, in the notebook, we can't able to draw exactly without the instrument. So for the sake, follow the construction steps for 70 degrees, 120 degrees and 90 degrees in your notebook also. What you have to do to construct 90 degrees? First to draw a BA, set the protractor at B, and by using this protractor mark 70 degrees from inner values. So after removing the protractor, join BC. Thus the required angle ABC equal to 70 degrees is formed. Okay. According to the question, we need to measure these three angles. After that, we need to decide which one is the larger one. And after that, we have to say that we need to construct the larger angle which is larger than the largest angle. Means which is bigger than the largest angle. That is 120 degrees is my largest angle. More than that, I have to construct. So more than that, 130 degrees I have used. So I am constructing by taking ray YX. And at Y I am placing the protractor properly, and 130 degrees I am constructing by using the protractor. Okay. I hope you understood. So only one thing you need to do, that instead of this one angle, you need to construct these three angles also properly in your notebook. Actually, we no need to construct these three angles, but for our calculations, correct calculations, I am telling you to construct these three angles also. Okay, I hope you understood how to construct the angle. Nothing is there. Whenever we are constructing the angle, first of all, draw ray. For suppose OP is my ray. I want to construct a 60 degrees. So set the protractor at O and 180 degrees line on OP. Common point is on O and 180 degrees line on OP. Because it is spreading right side, I need to take down values. So wherever 60 degrees is there, mark. With keep your protractor at O like this. 60 degrees wherever you are getting, mark like this. Okay. Now remove the protractor, join with the scale. Then let it be Q. So angle POQ is equal to 60 degrees constructed with the protractor. That's all. For this question, what is the measure of the following angles? So the measure of each of the angles is angle ABC 70 degrees, angle DEF is 120 degrees, angle PQR is equal to 90 degrees. Which is the largest angle? Angle DEF is equal to 120 degrees is the largest angle. Draw an angle larger than the largest angle. So 130 degrees is the larger than largest angle, that is 120 degrees. So I am constructing. That's it. Now coming to the next question. Fourth problem. Write the type of angle. Write the type of angle formed between the long hand and short hand. Long hand and short hand of a clock. Short hand of a clock. At the given timing. At the given timing. And take the small hand as the base. Take the small hand as the base. And my first question is, at 9 o'clock in the morning. 9 o'clock in the morning. And second question is, at 6 o'clock in the evening. And third question is, at 12 noon. at 12 noon. Fourth one, at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And fifth question, at 8 o'clock in the night. So now observe the questions. Write the type of angle formed between the long hand and the short hand of a clock, hands of the clock at the given timing. Take the small hand as the base. See, this type of questions are very, very important, and we may get most of the questions on this. See, whenever you are getting like this question, first of all, try to draw the rough figure for that. So my first question is, at 9 o'clock in the morning, try to draw the rough figure. 9 o'clock, how we will show? 12, 1, 2, 3, here 6, 9, 4, 5, 7, 8, 10, 11. Okay, correctly you have to draw. So like this we will get. Now 9 o'clock in the morning, they are asking to take small hand as the base. First of all, refer the 9 o'clock. Short hand at 9 and long hand at 12. Yes or no? The short hand we need to take as base. How much angle is forming at 9 o'clock in the morning? Morning or afternoon? You will get like this only, 9 o'clock timing. So 9. How much angle is forming between hands of the clock? 90 degrees. Therefore, the angle formed at 9 o'clock in the morning is right angle. That is equal to 90 degrees. Okay. Then coming, I hope you understood. Observe the question. Write the type of angle formed between the long hand and short hand of a clock at the given time. At 9 o'clock in the morning. Try to draw the rough figure. 9 o'clock means the time is shown by 9 o'clock like this. So this side one angle and this side you will get another angle. In the morning they said, so we need to take short hand as the base. So this side, that is 90 degrees. Okay. 90 degrees is nothing but which angle it is? Right angle. Coming to the second question. At 6 o'clock in the evening. At 6 o'clock in the evening. So try to draw the rough figure again. 12, here 3, 6, 9. 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, 8, 10, 11. Now 6 o'clock in the evening or anywhere, first of all mention the 6 o'clock in the 6 o'clock timing. 6 short hand and long hand it is on 12. So just observe, it is looking like straight line, no? Either in the morning or evening, it is equal to 180 degrees. So 180 degrees is which line? Which angle? Straight angle. That is equal to 180 degrees. So just observe once. At 9 o'clock in the morning, hands of the clock are looking like this and they are maintaining the angle 90 degrees. So at 9 o'clock in the morning, right angle is formed. At 6 o'clock in the evening or any time, you will get straight angle only. So it is a straight angle. And at 12 noon means both small hand and both the hands of the clock, small hand as well as short hand as well as long hand, both will lie same, both at the same place. That means there is no angle between both the hands of the clock. So at 12 noon we will get 0 angle. 4 o'clock, draw the time, then you will understand. 8 o'clock. Okay, we will see. Now observe the third problem. At 12 noon. So third problem is at 12 noon. Okay. At 12 noon, hands of the clock, short hand as well as long hand, both are lying same. Both are lying at same place. So they are not forming any angle between them. Therefore, at 12 noon, zero angle is formed between the hands of the clock. Zero angle, that is equal to measure is 0 degree. Now fourth question. At 4 o'clock in the afternoon. 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So first of all, draw the 4 o'clock timing. 12, 6, 9, 3. 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, 8, 10, 11. Now 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So 4, at 4 will get short hand and at 12 will get long hand. Just observe, short hand we need to take as base. So observe this angle. It is more than 90 degrees, yes or no? More than 90. So which type of angle it is? Obtuse angle. And what is the measure? We don't know. Obtuse angle, that is more than 90, which is equal to greater than 90 degrees. And coming to the last question, 8 o'clock in the night. Twelve, 3, 6, and 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 10, 11. 8 o'clock in the night they are telling. So 8, first of all mention 8. At 8 we will get the small hand and at 12 we will get the bigger hand. Now small hand we need to take as the base. So they are telling night means this side. Okay. It is finishing the rotation now. Means this much angle is finished, this much. Coming to evening, this angle is finished. Afternoon, much completely not over. And here this angle completely finished. So it is comes under reflex angle. More than a straight line, just observe. So now once again listen. At 9 o'clock we are getting right angle between the hands of the clock. At 6 o'clock we are getting straight angle. And at 12 noon both the hands are lying on the same side. Both are facing on the one hand is on the another hand. It means there is no angle between 12 noon. So zero angle. 90 degrees, 180 degrees and 0 degree. At 4 o'clock. At 4 o'clock in the afternoon means this portion is finished, yes or no? So this is more than 90 means obtuse angle. And coming to the last question, at 8 o'clock night, complete rotation is over, side rotation. So this is more than 180 degrees means it is a reflex angle. Okay, remember that. Night, afternoon, these timings also important. So if they are given in the morning, 8 o'clock in the morning, so only this portion will be finished. So that is comes under obtuse angle. Remember. I hope you understood. So whenever you are getting like this timings question, try to draw the rough figure compulsory and write which type of angle is formed between those two hands of the clock. Okay. Now coming to the last question. So in this exercise is the last problem that is given. match the following and draw figures for these. Draw figures also. And my A, group B. Here first one is acute angle, and secondly given right, and third obtuse, and fourthly given reflex angle, last straight angle. And they are given group B as, okay, I am using the letters. First one is 90 degrees, second one is 270 degrees, and third one is 45, fourth one is 180 degrees, fifth one is 150 degrees. Now observe, here I am writing which option is correct for this. Matching now. So acute angle, among these which one is the acute angle? Acute angle means lesser than 90 degrees. So lesser than 90 degrees, which one is there? 45 degrees. So option C, acute angle is 45 degrees. Right angle, what is the measure of right angle? 90 degrees. So option A. Obtuse angle is more than 90 and less than 180. So between 90 to 180. This is more than 90 but exceeding 180. So it is not obtuse. Equal to 180. So it is, that is C. Reflex angle, more than 80. 270 degrees is a reflex angle. 180 degrees is a straight angle. Okay. Draw the figures for the means we need to construct those angles also. So my first one is acute angle. That is equal to 45 degrees given in the figure. So I want to construct 45 degrees by using the protractor. So as I told you, you can take a side, that is right side or left side arm. So I am taking right side only, again P2. So here they did not mention any alphabets. I am taking for my convenience. I want to construct angle P of 45 degrees, which is an acute angle. So for that, I have to use the protractor. It's a common point. I must place at vertex P, and baseline 180 degrees should be on PQ. So I am keeping the protractor. I am setting the protractor like this correctly. Now I want to mention 45 degrees. So here right side is setting. So in our values I must count 0, 10, 20, 30, 40. 45 is in between 40 and 50. So it is 45. So mark wherever you are getting 45 degrees on the protractor, mark that point. Remove the protractor and join that point with P, and point let them that point is R. Now join PR by using the scale. So required angle QPR of 45 degrees is formed. This is about constructing angle 45 degrees. And second question, right angle we must construct. So secondly, right angle. Right angle is equal to how much? 90 degrees. Yes or no? So first of all, take any side either as you wish. I am taking OA, keeping the protractor at O, and again I have used right side only, so down values I need to count. Then wherever 90 degrees is there, keep one dot, remove the protractor and join that point. Then angle BOA or AOB is equal to 90 degrees. Okay. Now coming to the third question. Third one, obtuse angle. What is the measure of obtuse angle in this figure, in this option? 150 degrees. Okay. So obtuse angle is equal to 150 degrees. That 150 degrees I need to construct by the protractor. So I am using the letters AB. Now I am constructing angle A. Here angle O. Here angle P. 150 degrees. So set the protractor at A. Again, I need to check from right side only, down value 150 degrees. So 150 degrees is more than 90 degrees because it is an obtuse angle. You will get like this. Locate this point as a C. Then angle BAC is equal to 150 degrees is constructed. Now coming to the reflex angle. What about the reflex angle? Can we able to check 270 degrees on this? No. So just what I am doing. See, first of all, construct a straight angle 180 degrees. How we will get straight like line only? This is 180 degrees. So here I am using the letters R, S, P. Angle S is equal to 180 degrees. So this is fifth question. Okay. Now coming to the fourth one. Here I am using 270 degrees. That is a reflex angle. Here they have shown 270 degrees. In this case, I want to construct 270 degrees. 270 degrees I can't able to construct. So for that sake, first of all, what I am doing, I am drawing a straight line. 270 is more than straight line. So here they are forming 180. 180 plus how much we will get to 270? So 180 plus 270 minus 180. 17 minus 8 is 9. So 90 degrees. 180 plus 90 degrees is reflex angle. So it is a straight line. Now I am placing this side. This side already it is over. This side I am placing. 180 degrees over. 90 degrees I need to construct. So 90 degrees is this one. Means I will get in this way. Now this complete one. 180 plus 90 is equal to 270 degrees. OPQ. Angle POQ is equal to 270 degrees. That's it. Here use any other letter R. Okay. I hope you understood. Actually, we will not construct reflex angles, but for this question, I am constructing, that's all. So whenever you are getting reflex angle, try to construct a straight line first. Because 180 plus anything is more than 180, will get reflex angle. So 180 plus, here 270 is nothing but 180 plus 90. So 180 is a straight line. So draw the straight line simply and locate a point on straight line. From that construct 90 degrees because 180 plus 90 is 270 degrees. That's it. Okay. Now coming to the next topic. So once first of all what we have studied in exercise 192 we will see. Okay, first we have studied about line segments. What are the different examples for line segments? Edge of the board, edge of the door, edge of the pen, edge of the book, edge of the table, edge of any item, edge of rack, edge of table, edge of fridge. All those are the examples for line segments, and how where we are able to measure the length, that is comes under line segment only, I told you. And how we are constructing by using the scale or ruler, we are constructing the line segments, and we are using same instruments to measure the line segments also. If they are given any line segment like this, we don't know its length. For that sake, we have to use the scale to measure the length of PQ. First of all, wherever 0 centimeters showing on the scale, we have to keep at the first one of the vertex. And where is the another vertex lying on the scale? Observe. So that will tells us the length of PQ. So for suppose if it is 5 centimeters, then it will be represented by PQ is equal to 5 centimeters length. And to compare two line segments, we are using the instrument called divider. Okay, and we have constructed, we were measured several types of line segments also in exercise 5.1. So here you need to remember what is a line segment. Line segment is nothing but a line. It is a part of a line which is having two endpoints and it is having the definite length. So PQ will be equal to QP. Length is same. And several examples we have studied about line segments, how to construct, how to measure the line segments. Construction is nothing but what you have to do. Just place your scale and first point 0 centimeter, locate one of the points. And if I want 6.3 centimeters line segment, for that, after 3 smaller lines we need to mark with the scale. After 6, what is the third line? At that line we need to mark a point and join those 2 points. Then we will get a AB of 6.3 centimeters by the scale. Okay. And so that is about construction and this is about measurement. Next, what are the units of line segment? Line segment is nothing but length, no? So length, what is the unit for length? The basic unit of length is meters. Because it is very smaller one, so centimeters, millimeters, like that we are using. Even distance, that is very bigger one, so we will use kilometers. And next, which instrument we are using to compare two line segments? Divider. And which one is better to use, either scale or divider, to compare the things, compare the line segments? See, I can compare PQ and AB if I know the length. To know the length, I must use scale. So to do that much process, it will take time and it may not be give correct results also. But means some points difference will be there while we are measuring. But coming to divider, no need to measure the length of PQ. Just we have to place the divider on the first line segment, and without disturbing that length, we will keep one pointer on the vertex of another line segment, and we will the AB are more than AB. Okay, just by using that instrument, we will see. Here with the divider, we no need to measure the length of line segment. So it will give correct results and it will use less time. That's why divider is easy to use rather than scale. Okay, and next, if two line segments are equal in length, they are said to be congruent line segments. Okay, and coming to the angles, types of angles. To form an angle, compulsory we need a corner. So just to give some examples where we are getting like this. See, between the hands of the clock, when scissor is open, between the fingers of the hand, between spokes of the wheel, okay, in all the branches of the tree, you will get the angles. Okay, so all those are the daily life situations where we are getting the angles. And how to measure those angles? So to measure and first of all, which type of angles are forming between the scissor or fingers or whatever. Now, how we will say that how different types, they are classified into different types. First of all, 0 degree, it is named as a zero angle. And 90 degrees is named as a right angle. 180 degrees is named as a straight angle. And 360 degrees is named as a complete angle because complete rotation will be finished. So just a reason, zero angle means there is no angle between any two arms. Compulsory we have to get two arms, then only we'll get the angle. Wherever if the two arms are meeting, having common vertex, then only they can form an angle. If there is no gap between those two arms, that is zero angle. Okay. If it is equal to 90, means they are forming like L shape, then that is comes under right angle. If it is like a straight line. Then straight angle. Zero angle shows like this. Both the arms are lying one upon another. And for right angle, both will look like perpendicular, L shape. For straight angle, it will look like a straight line. For complete angle, complete rotation will be finished. Okay, that is about measurements. And the angles which are between 0 to 90, this one to this one, so many values we have, 1 to 89 numbers are there. So the angles which are lying between 0 to 90 are called acute angles. And its measurements are given like this, less than 90. Any one of the angle less than 90 is an acute angle. See, for all these cases, I am using right side only. Or if you can use left side also. See, this one we can represent like this also. Means a clockwise rotation also you can show. This is anti-clockwise. And it is clockwise. And next, this one, any side you will get the same angle. No problem. And now coming to the complete angle also you will get like this. Acute angle you will get like this. Okay. And coming to the obtuse angle. The angles which are in between 90 to 180 are called obtuse angles. And its anti-clockwise rotation is more than 90, no? Like this you will get. And if I am using anti-clockwise rotation, like this I will get. Okay. Next, 180 to 360 degrees. All those are angles are known as reflex angles, and more than straight angle. Okay. Like this. More than straight angle, I will get reflex angle. So remember this. Total 7 types of angles are there. 0 is named as zero angle, 90 is named as right angle, 180 is a straight angle, 360 is a complete angle, and this is their representation using anti-clockwise rotation and clockwise rotation. 0 to 90, whatever angles are that, all those are called acute angles, because below 90 compulsory you will not get L shape, lesser than that one only. See, observe the hand and my body. See, if I am keeping my hand like this, so then I will not get any angle between my hand and body. So zero angle. If I am placing like this hand and this one less than 90 degrees, so acute angle. If I am placing like this, L shape, so it is a right angle. More than this, obtuse angle. If I am placing straightly, so that is a straight angle. So this is about types of angles, and these types of angles we need to discuss in case of clock also. Between the hands of the clock, which type of angles are forming at a different timing. So as I told you, at 9 o'clock right angle is forming, at 12 noon or 12 morning also you will get zero angle itself, and straight angle afternoon or morning, whatever timings are given, at 6 o'clock we will get the straight angle, and 360. Complete rotation is over. That means 12 noon we will get complete angle. Okay. And 0 to 90 degrees acute angles. No. When we are getting, when timings we are showing between, if I want to show 1 o'clock. So this is a acute angle. 2 o'clock acute angle. Okay. And coming to the next obtuse angles. 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, all those are showing obtuse angles. Reflex angle is 8, 9, 10 o'clock, all those are reflex angles. So this is about the types of angles and how we are measuring these angles using the instrument called protractor. Protractor is having semicircular shape, and on that total 180 degrees are mentioned in both directions, the clockwise direction and anti-clockwise direction. If we are getting the arm at the right side, 0 is starting from the inner values. So 0 wherever you are getting, from there you need to count the values. So anti-clockwise rotation will get if arm is right side. When you are getting arm left side, 0 will start from upside onwards. So upper values we need to take in case of clockwise rotation. Okay, and here angles are measured by units, measured in units degrees, and they are measured by the instrument protractor. Okay. And coming to the next types of lines. Tomorrow we'll discuss about this. Just today I'll explain how many types of lines we have. We have normally 3 types of lines. First one, parallel lines. Secondly, intersecting lines. And third, perpendicular lines. And only about these 3 lines we have in now, but actually we have several types of lines. I'm telling congruent lines also. Actually we don't have about this one, but I'm explaining about congruent lines also. Parallel lines are nothing but, see, observe the window, observe the board. It is in rectangle shape, yes or no? Now observe these line segments A, B and CD. A, B and CD. Observe those two. Are they meeting at any point? AB is meeting with CD? No. And both are having equal distance at any point. Yes. So the lines which are never meeting at any point means which never intersect, and always they have to keep same gap. Such type of lines are said to be parallel lines. So best examples are opposite sides of the board. Opposite sides of the board is example for parallel lines. Opposite sides of door. Opposite edges of door is example for parallel lines. Opposite edges of table. Opposite edges of scale. All those are the examples of parallel lines. So what is the condition? Parallel lines means they do not intersect at any point. They have to maintain the distance equally at any point. Such lines are said to be parallel lines. Okay. And railway track, opposite lines of railway track are the examples of parallel lines. Intersecting means the 2 lines are meeting at one point. They are said to be intersecting lines. Perpendicular means 2 lines are meeting at a point such that they are making the angle of 90 degrees. They are said to be perpendicular lines. Congruent lines means through one point, if only 2 lines are passing, those are intersecting. If more than 2 lines are passing, then they are said to be congruent lines. Okay. In tomorrow's class, we will discuss about these types of lines and examples for these.